I wanted the belt. Hey, Tom Aspinall, I told you, I go for you, you know? You see me today, what me do? I want to break your head like that, like what me doing today.
Congratulations on another win. Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Waldo Cortes-Acosta.
Dana White has sent a brutal message about Tom Aspinall, calling him absolutely insane for some of his recent decisions. Meanwhile, Waldo has been relentlessly trolling and calling out Aspinall, and I'm talking about wearing eye patches, knocking out Aspinall's training partner after an eye poke, and straight up mocking the champion on social media. The MMA world is divided. Did Tom Aspinall quit, or was his decision to stop fighting after an eye poke justified? To understand this beef, we need to go back to October 25, 2025 at UFC 321. Tom Aspinall, the UFC heavyweight champion, was defending his title against the dangerous French striker Ciryl Gane at the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi.
Ciryl Gane in black. Tom
Ciryl Gane. Moving into Aspinall. Oh, nice.
Aspinall goes hot.
Ciryl Gane was ranked higher than Tom.
Quick jab from Gane.
I love the spinning.
Leaky here early.
He's eating Barrett. The wolf.
Looked like an eye poke there as Gane.
The fight was heating up, with Gane looking sharp in the opening round. His jab was finding its mark, and fans were excited to see this technical matchup unfold. But then, disaster struck. Ciryl Gane accidentally poked Tom Aspinall in both eyes with just 25 seconds remaining in the first round. Aspinall immediately signaled to the referee that he couldn't see. The doctor was called in, and after examination, Aspinall said he couldn't continue. The fight was ruled a no contest. Dana White later told the Jim Rome Show he was devastated by how the main event ended. Now here's where it gets controversial. Many fans and fighters questioned whether Aspinall should have tried to fight through it. The criticism was harsh, with some accusing the champion of taking an easy way out. Little did anyone know, the following week would pour gasoline on this fire.
¿Cuándo será tu próxima pelea?
El 1 de noviembre.
¿Contra quién?
Dante de Lija, es el training partner de Aspinall. Depende cómo termina la pelea. Me puede poner en el radar también, porque viene el campeón y se enoja y me dice, no, después de esta pelea yo quiero pelear con él, porque me rompió mi training partner. Porque así es toda la pelea, un training partner.
Sí, yo te entiendo, así funciona.
Ahora voy yo, ahora quiero romper la cabeza yo.
Enter Waldo Cortes-Acosta, a number 6 ranked heavyweight contender who was about to make the most dramatic statement of his career. Just 1 week after the Aspinall-Gane controversy, Waldo was scheduled to fight Ante Delaya, who happens to be Tom Aspinall's training partner and close friend, at UFC Vegas 110 on November 1st.
Hey! Oh! Come on, let's go! Oh, yes! 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 Come on! Come on! Come on!
Now get this. Early in the fight, Delija accidentally pokes Waldo in the eye. Sound familiar? The difference? What happened next shocked everyone. After the eye poke, Delija landed 12 unanswered strikes on the injured Cortes-Acosta. The referee initially appeared to stop the fight, and Delia's corner was celebrating, thinking they'd won. But upon replay review, officials saw the eye poke and gave Waldo time to recover.
And we saw it with Neil Magny and Jake Matthews in Perth. Mark Ratner joins us. Mark, what is going on right now?
It's an inadvertent eye poke.
Here's where Waldo became a legend. Despite having only 20% vision in his injured eye, his own words, Waldo told the doctor, "I don't give a fups, so told," and chose to continue. And what did he do? He came out and knocked Delija out cold just seconds after the restart with a devastating right hand. The place went crazy. Waldo earned Performance of the Night and immediately grabbed the microphone to call out Tom Aspinall. Waldo didn't just call out Aspinall, he made it personal. At the post-fight press conference, Waldo said, 1. He's the champion. 2. He quit because of a poke in the eye. And 3. His training partner. I knocked him out in the first round. So why isn't the fight happening between me and Tom Aspinall?
And Hank quit because the poke in the eye. 2. And the third 2 because Hank is the training partner. And I do it with Hank like knock him out in the first round. Why is it happening that me and Tom Aspinall fight?
But wait, it gets better. Waldo changed his Instagram profile picture to himself wearing an eye patch, a direct troll of Tom Aspinall, who had dressed as a pirate for Halloween just days before. The symbolism was brutal. Waldo also said in an interview, I'm a different breed. I was born in the Dominican Republic. Everything is war there. One poke in the eye with everything that's happened in my life. This can't stop me. I'm never going to let a poke in the eye lose me an opportunity that can change my life and my family's.
I'm Dominican. I born in Dominican Republic. Was everything is war over there? It's like a war, everything. And the one poke the eye, where everything happened in my life. This can stop me. I never leave it for the one poke the eye. Try like lose one opportunity. Like can change my life and my family.
Now I need to mention Waldo's personal situation because it makes this even more incredible. His newborn daughter with Down syndrome had been in the NICU since August. His wife nearly died during childbirth. And despite all this stress, Waldo fought 3 times between August and November, showing unbelievable heart and dedication. If you thought Waldo was done making statements, think again. Just 3 weeks after the Delia fight, Waldo accepted a fight on 48 hours' notice to fly to Qatar and replace Sergey Spivak against Shamil Gaziev. This man flew 18 hours, cut 12 pounds in 1 day, weighed in immediately after landing, and then he knocked Gaziev out in 82 seconds of the first round. After the win, guess what Waldo did? He walked into the octagon wearing an eye patch again while Bruce Buffer announced his victory. The troll job continued, and this time his message to Aspinall was even more direct. Hey Tom Aspinall, I told you I go for you. You see me today. What I do? I want to break your head like that.
I wanted the belt. Hey Tom Aspinall, I told you I go for you. You know, you see me today. What me do? I want to break your head like that, like what me doing today.
Congratulations on another win. Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Waldo Cortes-Acosta.
Did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
Do you know which fight I'm talking about?
No.
Fair enough.
Oh, Jesus. That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what. A lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
Dana White just dropped a bombshell that has everyone talking. He's not just criticizing Jake Paul anymore. He's saying this fight should be illegal. Yes, you heard that right. The UFC president is demanding that Jake Paul cancel his December 19th showdown with Anthony Joshua in Miami, and his message couldn't be more brutal. So here's what happened. For years, Dana White has been saying Jake Paul only fights retired MMA fighters, smaller opponents, and cherry-picked matchups. He's called Jake a clown, a fraud, someone who's not a real boxer.
That video of Jake Paul saying he was banned from all UFC events and then put the costume on?
Yeah. Listen, if Oscar De La Hoya was there, okay? Let's put it that way. Nobody's banned from the UFC. Listen, that kid knows how to market and do his thing and, you know, all that good shit. But, yeah. No, Jake Paul's welcome to come to UFC. He just can't bring that you know.
But the moment Jake Paul signs to fight Anthony Joshua, a 2-time heavyweight world champion who's still in his prime, Dana completely flips the script. Now he's saying the fight is too dangerous. Now he's saying Jake is biting off more than he can chew. Now he's calling for Jake to pull out.
Stage 3, Mikey, your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see. Whoops.
Dana literally said, this should be illegal. He's claiming that AJ should knock out Jake Paul in 1 round. Not 2 rounds, not 3 rounds, 1 round. Listen to what Aid Oladipo said. If someone knocks on your door and says, "Do you want to fight Jake Paul for 100 million?" You'd be stupid to say no. AJ should and could, more should, knock out Jake Paul in a round.
I get it, right? If someone knocks on your door and says, "Do you want to fight Jake Paul for 100 million?" You're like, you'd be stupid to say no. No, I don't want that 100 million for what would be and will be and should be easy work for AJ. Why are you going to turn down 100 million? AJ should and could, more should, knock out Jake Paul in a round.
The hypocrisy is insane. When Jake doesn't fight real boxers, Dana mocks him. When Jake does fight a real boxer, the biggest challenge of his career, Dana still mocks him and says he needs to pull out. But here's where it gets even more controversial. Dana White is pushing a narrative that this whole thing might be rigged.
Yeah, and did you see the fight that's reportedly being worked on for December 19th in Miami?
Did I see the fight being worked on December 19th in Miami?
Yeah.
No.
He's saying that if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock Jake Paul out fast, then something fishy is going on. He's suggesting that Jake Paul might have structured something behind the scenes because, on paper, there is no world where Jake Paul should be able to compete with Anthony Joshua.
That's a fucking bad idea. That's a bad idea. But let me tell you what, a lot of people watch that one.
Will you watch it?
Sure. You know what everybody's tuning in for on that one. Then I think everybody's going to get what they've finally been waiting for.
Think about that for a second. Dana is already planting the seeds of doubt before the fight even happens. He's setting it up so that if Jake survives past the first few rounds, people will say it's fixed. If Jake lands anything meaningful, the conspiracy theories will go absolutely wild. This is a top 10, maybe even top 5, heavyweight in the world facing off against someone Dana calls a top 50 or 60 cruiserweight. The size difference alone is massive. AJ will be around 60 pounds heavier than Jake.
This is a top 50 or 60 cruiserweight in the world stepping up and fighting a top, I mean, even if you want to be really critical, top 10, but I think top 5 heavyweight in the world.
Boxing experts are saying this is the most dangerous fight Jake Paul has ever taken. Spencer Oliver said, "God help Jake Paul. We saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou. He went out there and iced him in a couple of rounds."
God help Jake Paul. That's all I can say. We saw what Anthony Joshua had done to Francis Ngannou. He went out there and iced him in a couple of rounds. A guy coming from a different discipline. Well, this kid's coming from another level. You know, white-collar boxing in 2018, gone through the mill, and the only boxer really that he's actually boxed, a legitimate boxer he got beat by, and that was in Tommy Fury. Now he stepped up to the plate. Does he really believe that he can beat Anthony Joshua at heavyweight? All right, he's put a restriction in there. Anthony Joshua can't be no heavier than 245 pounds.
So how did Jake Paul respond to all of this? Well, he didn't back down, not even for a second. Jake took to Twitter and fired back with a message that sent shockwaves through the combat sports world. He basically said, "This is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua. Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix.
This is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix."
At the face-off with AJ, Jake was asked about the size difference. He looked up at Joshua and said, "My eyes are at his chest level. My neck started to hurt after looking up for a little bit. But this is what we signed up for. He's very tall, but that means I can use my speed and my size to my advantage."
No, we didn't say anything, but he looks intense, focused, locked in. He's obviously very, very tall. Looking up, my tallest opponent, my eyes are at his, chest level. But yeah, he's locked in. I'm locked in. I don't think there's fear in his eyes or in my eyes.
Yeah, Jake, tell us the difference between your face-off with Gervonta, where you're a head taller looking down, and now looking up at Joshua.
No, it's surreal. All of it is very, very funny. And my neck started to hurt after looking up for a little bit. But this is what we signed up for, and he's very tall, but that means I can use my speed and my size to my advantage as well.
Jake also called out the hypocrisy in boxing. He said, A lot of people in this sport, believe it or not, are actually scared. That's why we're up here on this stage, because we're both always down to run it and throw hands.
A lot of people in this sport, believe it or not, are actually bitch made. Anthony can attest to that.
That's correct.
That's why we're up here on this stage, because we're both always down to run it and throw hands.
He's not backing down, he's not pulling out, and he's betting everything on himself. Now let's talk about what the experts are saying, because nobody is giving Jake Paul a chance. Terrence Crawford said, "You gotta go with Anthony Joshua. I think Jake probably gets knocked out in the 3rd round."
Man, you gotta go with Anthony Joshua. You just gotta go with Anthony Joshua on there. I think Anthony Joshua by knockout. Yeah, I think Jake will probably get knocked out in the 3rd round.
Eddie Hearn was even more brutal. AJ could go in there in his nightgown and beat Jake Paul. The issue is, does he hurt Jake Paul? How curated is it?
I mean, Anthony Joshua can go in his nightgown and beat Jake Paul. The issue is, does he hurt Jake Paul? How curated it is? I debated it with boxers, with Paul Smith and Duke McKenzie and Spencer about would Joshua go in there with a mindset?
Even Tyson Fury weighed in, saying, "I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise."
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look. A bit chubby, bit bulky.
Wait, what? Tyson Fury actually picked Jake Paul? He even offered to bet £1 million on Jake winning. But most experts disagree. They're saying this is a mismatch of epic proportions. Aid Oladipo said, "If Jake Paul was fighting under the British Boxing Board of Control, I don't think he'd even be a Southern Area Cruiserweight champion. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion of the world."
Like, if Jake Paul was over here fighting under our British Boxing Board of Control, I don't think it would be a Southern Area Cruiserweight champion. AJ is a former unified heavyweight champion of the world.
Tommy Fury, the only professional boxer to beat Jake Paul, jumped into the conversation too, saying, "That bum couldn't beat me when I basically had one hand. Jake Paul, I'm still your daddy."
That bum couldn't beat me when I basically had a broken hand. I had one hand and he still lost. Jake Paul, I'm still your daddy.
Here's the thing though, regardless of what happens in the ring, this fight makes perfect business sense. Reports say this could be the biggest viewed fight in boxing history. The purse split, an estimated £170 million between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Netflix is banking on this. After the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight generated $20 million in gate receipts and helped Netflix gain 2 million new subscribers. They know this formula works. The streaming giant is willing to pay massive money because each new subscriber has a lifetime value of around $900. Do the math, that's potentially billions in revenue. Simon Jordan explained it perfectly. Netflix will pay the $100 million because the wraparound fees that come from sponsorship and event attendance make it worth it. It's like the mobile phone industry. Sell phones for nothing, make money on the airtime.
Netflix is that it's a drive to subscribe. They'll pay the $100 million and the wraparound fees that come from sponsorship and the event attendance. We saw that $20 million was generated in gate receipts for the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. So we know this is $150-160 million fight.
I wanted the belt. Hey, Tom Aspinall, I told you, I go for you, you know? You see me today, what me do? I want to break your head like that, like what me do today.
Congratulations on another win. Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Waldo Cortes-Acosta.
Waldo Cortes-Acosta just dropped a massive bombshell on UFC heavyweight champion Tom Aspinall, and the MMA world is absolutely buzzing. Cortes-Acosta's incredible victory over Aspinall's training partner, Ante Delija, and why this Dominican fighter is calling out the champ in the most controversial way possible.
Yeah, no, of course.
Cortes-Acosta, big right hand.
To understand why this call-out is so significant, we need to go back to UFC Vegas 110 on November 2nd. This was the night that changed everything for Waldo "Salsa Boy" Cortes-Acosta. Cortes-Acosta was facing Ante Delija, a Croatian heavyweight who happens to be Tom Aspinall's training partner. Now, here's where things get wild. During the first round, Delija landed a series of punches on Cortes-Acosta that went unanswered, and the referee initially stopped the fight. But wait, the replay revealed something crucial. Cortes-Acosta had been poked in the eye by Delija. The fight was restarted, giving Waldo time to recover. And here's what makes this story incredible. Despite his vision getting progressively worse, Cortes-Acosta came back and knocked out Delija in the first round, earning himself a Performance of the Night bonus. In the post-fight press conference, Cortes-Acosta revealed just how bad the eye injury was. He said, and I quote, "The eye was getting worse and worse. The emotions, the hunger, it pushed me on to still continue fighting. I never feel like I'll stop the fight for a poke in the eye."
But I never feel like stop the fight for the poke in the eye. The eye is getting worse and worse. The happening is the emotionated, my hungry, it pushed me up still continue fight.
Now, let's talk about why this matters in relation to Tom Aspinall. Just a month earlier at UFC 321 in October, Aspinall was fighting Ciryl Gane. During the first round, Gane accidentally poked Aspinall in both eyes. The fight was stopped and Aspinall was unable to continue, resulting in a no contest.
Looks like an eye poke there is gone, had the fingers open. Give me a claw. Yeah, sort of dug in there.
Last one. You give it just a moment. You tell me if you can see. If not, then we'll stop this. Tell me. Why am I eyeball? Hey Tom. How are we? Right now. Can see you. Okay.
Jason knows how he's going to play this fight.
No contest. Unintentional foul. No contest.
This decision immediately sparked massive debate in the MMA community. Some fans questioned whether Aspinall quit too easily. Others defended him, saying the injury was legitimate and continuing would have been dangerous. The controversy hasn't died down since, so picture this. Waldo Cortes-Acosta just fought through an eye poke against Tom Aspinall's own training partner, continued despite losing vision, and knocked him out. Meanwhile, Aspinall couldn't continue after his eye poke. Do you see where this is going?
And we saw it with Neil Magny and Jake Matthews in Perth. Mark Ratner joins us. Mark, what is going on right now?
It's an inadvertent eye poke.
Immediately after defeating Delija, Cortes-Acosta didn't waste a single second. He called out the heavyweight champion in the most direct way possible, essentially suggesting that Aspinall's eye poke was exaggerated while his own injury was real but manageable. But the story doesn't end there. Just 3 weeks later, Cortes-Acosta pulled off one of the most insane feats in recent UFC history. He accepted a fight at UFC Qatar on just 3 days' notice, replacing Sergey Spivak against Shamil Gaziev. Let me paint this picture for you. Waldo took an 18-hour flight across the globe to Qatar.
Okay, let's take a look. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
Hey, yo! 12 pounds in a single day, weighed in at 265 pounds just moments after landing, and then stepped into the octagon against a dangerous opponent. This is his 5th fight of 2025. And what happened? Cortes-Acosta knocked out Gaziev in just 82 seconds of the first round. It was absolutely brutal, and it solidified Salsa Boy as one of the toughest fighters in the heavyweight division.
Right? Here's the exchange up against the fence. Misses that left hook. Almost, it was a jab basically from Cortes-Acosta. Had Gaziev all sorts of hurt. Looking for the ground and pound. Ultimately, Gaziev gets back up to his feet. And let's see here. Big straight right. Oh, right over the top. Not quite an overhand, but leans off to the left. Gets his head off the center line and crushes this straight right. Bang! Right on the jaw of Gaziev.
Here's where it gets even more interesting. During the post-fight celebration, Cortes-Acosta wore an eye patch over the same eye that had been injured weeks earlier. This wasn't just a medical necessity. It was a direct message to Tom Aspinall. Remember, John Jones had mocked Aspinall by adding an eye patch to his social media avatar after UFC 321. Waldo was clearly joining in on the trolling.
You got big sexy, you got table decent.
Oh, man. Put me on the spot. I got a big game, dog. Ain't cool. We're going to make a win. There it is. Fight the mic, period. Whoa. What's up, bro? Whoa. We got a horse. But I can't see you speaking high. We got a coach.
So why is Waldo Cortes-Acosta so focused on Tom Aspinall? He actually gave 3 specific reasons in his interviews, and they're pretty compelling. First, and most obvious, Tom Aspinall is the UFC heavyweight champion. Cortes-Acosta wants that belt, plain and simple. He earned his shot with an incredible 4-1 record in 2025 alone, including multiple knockout victories. Second, and this is the controversial part, Cortes-Acosta believes Aspinall quit because of the eye poke at UFC 321. In his words, it's because of him being a champion, and he quit because of a poke in the eye. Waldo sees this as a weakness, especially since he himself continued fighting after being poked by Delia. Third, Cortes-Acosta knocked out Delia, who Aspinall speaks very highly of as one of his best training partners. Waldo's logic is simple. If he can knock out Aspinall's training partner in the first round, what would happen if they actually fought? He said it himself. I do him like knock him out in the first round. What would happen if me and Tom Aspinall fight?
Were you just calling him out as you felt like you wanted to get that shot, or were you calling him out because you were able to continue from the eye poke?
Yeah, it's like that. It's for the him to be a champion, and the him quick because the poke the eye too, and the third too because the him is a training partner, and I do it with him like knock him out in the first round. Why is it happening that me and Tom Aspinall fight? Because he say Tom Aspinall, this is the one that does the best training partner. He can have it. What happened? Tom Aspinall fighting with Waldo Cortes.
During his UFC Qatar post-fight interview, Cortes-Acosta looked directly at the camera and said, "Hey Tom Aspinall, I told you I'm going for you. You see what I do? I want to break your head like that. Like what me doing today?"
I wanted the bell. Hey, Tom Aspinall, I told you, I go for you, you know? You see me today, what me do? I want to break your head like that, like what me doing today.
Congratulations on another win. Your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Waldo Cortes-Acosta.
So where does this leave Waldo Cortes-Acosta? Right now, he's not even ranked in the heavyweight top 15, which makes this call-out even bolder. But his recent performances, especially that UFC Qatar knockout on 3 days' notice, have absolutely put him on the map. And here's something wild. Cortes-Acosta isn't done. He's calling for another fight in December, which would be his 6th fight of the year. At the post-fight interview, he said, "I want to finish this year for one more fight. I want to fight next month, December 13th. This man is absolutely relentless."
I want to finish it this year for one more fight. This is too quick. I want to fight next month if the guy can permit it, December 13th.
Now, realistically, Tom Aspinall is expected to run back his fight with Ciryl Gane, likely in January 2025. That's the fight everyone wants to see finished properly without the eye poke controversy. After that, though, the heavyweight division needs a clear #1 contender. Could Waldo Cortes-Acosta be that contender? If he keeps up this insane activity level and continues scoring knockout victories, it's hard to ignore him. He defeated Aspinall's training partner, fought through the same type of injury that stopped Aspinall, and showed incredible toughness by taking fights on short notice against dangerous opponents.
Yeah, no, of course.
Cortes-Acosta, big right hand.
I feel as Tom's a great athlete, but I do feel like he's a one-trick pony.
When you look at people talking shit online, you know, he's ducking this guy or he's dodging this guy, they haven't seen the work that you've done in the past and how dominant you've been. We know you're not ducking this guy. I mean, talk to me about what you saw in his fight with Gane, because Gane looked like he was controlling the fight.
With Ciryl Gane?
Yeah.
I believe that his wrestling and jiu-jitsu is incredibly overrated. He has a beautiful 1-2. I got to learn a lot about his patterns in his last fight. Beautiful 1-2. That's really about it. He couldn't touch Ciryl Gane at all. That's the way I felt. I felt like Gane was just getting warmed up. Gane's hands was down. He was shaking his shoulders, bouncing around.
He was touching him.
That jab.
He busted him open. I think Tom was looking for a way out, and he took it. He needs to change his game plan.
When Tom gets hurt, he's like immediately incapacitated.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you poke my eye, and then he's like immediately. There's no like
trying. He didn't try.
Trying. Same thing with Curtis Blades. When he hurt his knee, there was no limping. There was no trying to get up. It was just like immediately,
Yep.
burn my village. I can't go on. Immediately quit.
All right, so John Jones is back at it. He's calling Tom Aspinall overrated, calling him a quitter, saying that he is very, very simple. He's basic. The man's a quitter. Look at Ciryl Gane, right? He was just getting comfortable.
Tom's a great athlete, but I do feel like he's a one-trick pony. I believe that his wrestling and jiu-jitsu is incredibly overrated.
We all know why he's saying this. Obviously, UFC 321, Tom Aspinall got poked in the eye. We've been over this many, many times, so I won't repeat it. Incidentally, Ciryl Gane is back in the gym. He's training again. He's hitting the pads. He's working. So does that mean that we might have news of a rematch pretty soon between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane? I, for one, certainly hope so.
A few moments later.
He's at home. He's recovering. And as soon as he's able to fight again, we'll book the
John Jones just dropped the most brutal bombshell on Tom Aspinall that may just end his career. The former two-division champion is not holding back anymore, folks. Jones just called Aspinall an average fighter who quit after one little eye poke.
Tom Aspinall's title fight against Ciryl Gane ended with a bit of a letdown after being ruled a no contest when Aspinall was unable to continue after what is certainly one of the worst-looking, not single, but double eye pokes I've seen in the sport.
So the best part about fouling, right, is that it works. So the best thing you can do is keep your head in the game, and I'll do everything I can to manage it.
All that training for that?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Gonna be okay, mate.
What is he doing? The left one was really deep. The left one was really deep. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
You got one
before it. Yeah, twice before he got one for it.
Mike Bisping, he lost his eye. It's just a horrendous thing to think as a parent, really. And I know what it's like these days with people saying what they want, but if it's just your son and they could lose an eye and their health and they've got children to look after.
And that's not even half of it. Jones is trolling Aspinall like never before. We're talking horses with eye patches, duck profile pictures, and some of the most savage takedowns we've ever seen in MMA trash talk history. All right, let's get straight into what John Jones just said, because this is brutal. On the No Scripts podcast, Jones didn't just criticize Tom Aspinall, he absolutely dismantled him. And I'm talking about career-threatening allegations here.
I feel as Tom's a great athlete, but I do feel like he's a one-trick pony.
Talk to me about what you saw in his fight with Gane, because Gane looked like he was controlling the fight.
With Ciryl Gane?
Yeah.
I believe that his wrestling and jiu-jitsu is incredibly overrated. He has a beautiful 1-2. I got to learn a lot about his patterns in his last fight. Beautiful 1-2. That's really about it. He couldn't touch Ciryl Gane at all. That's the way I felt. I felt like Gane was just getting warmed up. Gane's hands was down. He was shaking his shoulders, bouncing around.
He was touching him.
That jab.
He busted him open. I think Tom was looking for a way out, and he took it. He needs to change his game plan.
Jones's main claim, that Aspinall immediately quits when things get tough. Here's exactly what he said. When Tom gets hurt, he's immediately incapacitated. Immediately. It's like you poke my eye. There was no trying to blink it out. I would have been the silliest looking cat on national TV trying to continue.
He couldn't touch Ciryl Gane at all. That's the way I felt. I felt like Gane was just getting warmed up. Gane's hands was down. He was shaking his shoulders, bouncing around.
He was touching him. He was touching him.
That jab, too,
He busted him open.
He was so comfortable.
I think Tom was looking for a way out, and he took it. He needs to change his game plan.
Man, Tom, when Tom gets hurt, it's like he's immediately incapacitated.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately.
He shut down.
It's like you poke my eye and then he's immediately, there's no
He never tried to look. It was rag on the eye immediately.
Dude, I would have been the silliest looking cat on national TV just
trying. He didn't try.
Trying.
He didn't try.
Same thing with Curtis Blades. When he hurt his knee, there was no limping. There was no trying to get up. It was just immediately.
Yep.
Burn my village. I can't go on.
He doesn't have the dog in him. Yeah, that kill or be killed.
Immediately quits.
Yeah.
When he got tapped out with an ankle lock, there was no trying to fight his hands. There were no trying to. He immediately quit.
But Jones didn't stop there. He brought up multiple examples to back up his claim. First, the Curtis Blades fight from 2022, where Aspinall tore his ACL just 15 seconds in. Jones said there was no limping, no trying to get up, just immediate surrender.
No, looking for Megan. It's paying off now. Massive shots, hammer fist, straight hand.
As you said, he's waiting for the opportunity. It was the up kick came, and now Austin looking for the leg.
Oh, big heel hook attack from him.
He done it. Austin has done it.
What a finish.
Austin has done it.
Then he went even further back to Aspinall's first professional loss in 2015 when he tapped to an ankle lock. Jones claimed there was no trying to fight the hands, no resistance, just an immediate tap. Jones's conclusion, he immediately quits. Immediately.
When Tom gets hurt, he's like immediately incapacitated.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he poked my eye and then he's like immediately, there was no like
trying. He didn't try.
Trying. Same thing with Curtis Blaze. When he hurt his knee, there was no limping. There was no trying to get up. It was just like immediately.
Yep.
Burn my village. I can't go on. Immediately quit.